Hey guys, welcome back to Just Friends with Abdullah. I welcome you all. I'm pretty sure you're bored above my face by now, but I have some good stuff to share with you today, and I have a quite the interesting topic that I want to talk about. And it really it was something that I sat and thought about it and did some soul searching, the digging, whatever you want to call it on this. I think you guys are gonna like it, and you probably know it by now from the title. Authenticity, being your authentic self. So, if you guys noticed recently in the world, there's been somewhat of a shift when it comes to um, valuing what's important with people in terms of building connections, interpersonal relationships, um, professional relationships as well, working with someone, building a business, friendship, family, all that good stuff, right? And if there's one thing that I think people now put a lot of value on and look on is authenticity. Are you an authentic person? Are you someone who is real? That's what they call it, quote unquote, real. So, what does authenticity or being self authentic means? It is somebody who is true to themselves, no matter what the situation is. Your spirit, your personality, and your values all align in one. You're honest with yourself and you're honest with your others. You don't let any situation or any pressure change who you are as a person. You're also a stand up person in the sense that you reflect on your mistakes and you work on them. Quite simply, your values, your actions align. You're you being you. Complicated, right? And that's what people nowadays, I think, appreciate more than anything. And that's what a lot of people find rare. You're always honest and you're always real. You're not somebody who hides who their personality is. So I think people appreciate that because they know what to expect from you. They know what to expect from you in the good times and also in the bad times. There is a level of consistency about how you behave and how about how you showcase yourself. And that comes with being authentic and showcasing that to the world. People really appreciate this, in a world full of deceit, dishonesty, and lies. They appreciate someone who is authentic and real. It's actually the base foundation in starting a strong connection and a relationship, either with your friends, with your family, and your potential partner. It is everything kind of revolves around when it comes to an interpersonal relationship, authenticity. Which brings me to my next point, which talks about the good side of authenticity, I think. I guess you can say the good thing about being authentic is that, first of all, people are going to love you or hate you. It's that simple. Um, you are going to showcase consistency in a world full of inconsistencies. And the third and most important thing, you're showing your real personality. It's that simple. You're being real to yourself. Your emotional feelings are genuine. You are is absolutely connected with what your soul and your spirit represents. That is huge. Like you cannot underestimate the essence of that. For you to be connected with who you are internally and for people and the world to see it is probably one of the best feelings a human being can have. What's interesting though is that everything that I've mentioned just now about probably the benefits of being authentic is actually labeled or categorized under a level of what society conforms to what is right and agreeable, but not necessarily authentic. So everything that I just mentioned for you right now could be categorized under that, right? What society says that what authenticity means. But authenticity doesn't just mean that. Let me explain. So I read this article on the Scientific American. I'm gonna put the link below. It's a very interesting article where they did some research on people, how they felt about being authentic. And what's interesting is people that tend to behave in an authentic manner, they tend to do it, according to the research, of course, they tend to do it within the agreeable norms of society conventions. What does that mean? Meaning a person that tends to be social, agreeable, nice, open minded. That's what tends to be authentic in people's minds. So even if you are somebody that does not um, behave or think of behaving in that way in your authentic self, but because of society's conventions, it's ingrained in your mind to act in that way. You are told, I think, when you're a child or when you're at such a young age, that for you to be outgoing, for you to be interactive, social, those are things someone who's authentic they do. Interesting study, right? So basically, if I'm somebody who is an introvert and I hate being with people and I hate talking with people, but I go and basically to a party and I'm forced. I wouldn't say forced. Force is sounds like I'm being compelled, but I start trying to be, you know, socially accepted by conversing and talking and interacting. Uh, in the eyes of society, I'm considered authentic, right? But technically speaking, I am not being authentic because I'm an introvert. I'm somebody that likes to be secluded and in my private space. I don't want people to interact with me. I just want to, keep distance. But for society, that's not authentic, correct? So it's a very interesting um, situation, and it's a very interesting conflict where you are a character that believes you're being authentic to yourself. However, society has a different path of what is conventionally accepted of being authentic. One of the biggest things that authenticity or being self-authentic relates to is you need to ask this question: am I true to my nature? Right? And the example that I just brought up, when you're at a party and you're an introvert person, but you're forced to socialize and smile and be chirpy and everything and be happy, that's not someone who is true to themselves. But at the same time, I think when you are truly self-authentic and when you're an authentic person, it has some major downsides, right? Some of those major downsides are you're not willing to learn. You think you already know everything. You think you're already aware of everything. You think you're somebody who is, I don't want to say perfect, but you're authentic. You're real to yourself. So why are you supposed to change, right? Why are you supposed to um, maybe accept new things or new ways of operating in life? So you don't tend to evolve. You don't tend to grow somewhat. The second problem I would say is that you're not able to navigate emotional tribulations and trials, meaning that because you're somebody who is extremely authentic, you don't have the characteristics to understand and relate to how people can be, how people can be affected. Meaning that if you're authentic to yourself and you're somebody who is angry, you have a temper. Yeah, that's who you are. You have a temper, but you don't understand that that temper or that anger can cause harm to the people that you care for or who are close to you. Correct. So in that sense, it can be a major downside because you're not able to navigate the emotions of a situation, things that authenticity or being yourself authentic best can do to someone or can harm a group of people. And the third problem could be is that people can view you as somebody who is borderline narcissistic, you know, because you're not willing to compromise. You think you're better than people. If you're somebody who is, if all your authentic best is that you think you're more important than others, then that can be seen as, someone who's narcissistic, right? Who values himself more than others. Look, we live on this planet and we are 8 billion people. The world doesn't revolve around you, right? And you have to understand that there are different rules and there are different ways of applying those rules and navigating through the different societies and different cultures and different personalities that you meet in life. While being true and good to yourself can be very good in many aspects, but it can be also extremely fatal. You don't seek out to learn, you don't seek out to grow, you don't seek out to understand other people simply by, you may not be able to relate to your partner. You might not be good at saying nice things, but sometimes your partner needs to hear it from you, needs to hear it coming out from your mouth. And that is an extreme thing that you need to be aware of, is navigating emotions, understanding personalities, being flexible. You see, people's emotional tolerance and acceptance is as light as paper. Sometimes when you say something in your most authentic way, it can be seen as aggressive, heartless, and cold. There's a difference between critiquing someone's work in the professional place and telling them that your work is good, not good enough, and it's shit, and you're making us lose money. And there's a complete opposite approach by giving guidance, encouragement, advice. All of that plays a role. And that is understanding the situation that you're in and the people that are around you. And that's how you navigate emotions, right? And that's how you understand that sometimes being your 100% true, authentic self might not serve the situation well. You can't deal with human beings from the point of view of emotional authenticity. You need to master emotional intelligence and be better. But you know what? Maybe all the above that I mentioned doesn't really matter because I believe in peace of mind, right? And if being your authentic self brings you peace of mind, I'm all up for that. I love that. I encourage that. I don't want any drama in my life. That's me personally. Being authentic in your interpersonal relationships is much, much, much more important than your professional relationships. Why? Because you're building a life with that person. So that person needs to know everything about you inside out. And they need to understand what they can accept, what they can't accept. If you ask me my opinion on all of this and what I think is right, I think being the real you or being real you is a much better outcome. Why? Look, there are people that are going to hate you. Yes. There are people that are going to dislike you. Yes. You can't please everybody. And you can't live your life pleasing everyone. Me personally, if you ask my opinion in all of this, I lean towards the real you, being your authentic self, being your best version. Yes, some people are going to hate you, some people aren't going to like you. And there are always going to be limits in all relationships and all friendships. There's a video that I talk about that even more, so you can go check it out here on the link. But my point in all of this is that there has to be some sort of balance. You also have to understand and read the room better. You have to accept that you cannot be your full authentic self in certain situations because you're going to cause more damage and more harm than good. But at the end of the day, I, if you ask me what I think again, I got to protect my peace of mind. That is the most important thing for me. And my peace of mind comes before all, right? And I would never jeopardize that for anything. I'm not here to intentionally hurt people, and I don't think anyone should hurt anyone, based on intention. But peacefulness and a good life and a life filled with fulfillment, that is the ultimate goal. Anyways, this is a two-way conversation, guys. My channel is not just me about rambling and talking nonsense. It's all about you guys as well, sharing your opinion and thoughts. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the content and stick by the channel.